obviously this video is going to be a little bit more unconventional than my other reviews because we're starting in the car, which means we're doing a come with me to watch Megan 2.0. And this is also a little bit different in more than one way. We have Ryan here joining me today. The reason why, okay, first of all, I can't watch this movie by myself and take it that seriously. I'm sorry, I just can't. So I thought I would make it more fun. And, you know, I could have skipped the movie in general, to be honest, and I probably should have because of our expectations going into it. Probably isn't very fair towards the movie, but the reason I'm dragging Ryan along is because we watched the first one together and didn't like that one either, and then we watched the trailer for Megan 2.0.
The first one was ridiculous, and the trailer for the second one was twice as ridiculous. Yeah. So I feel like they're leaning into the absurdity of the movie.
Going like full sci-fi now.
Yeah, I want to like the movie, but I really did not like the first one.
I think they're honestly trying to like bank on having it become a meme again and everyone doing the Megan dance from the first one and quoting it so much. They're like trying to make it iconic again with this one, and I don't know if it's gonna work out, but we're gonna see. Just try to have fun with it, I guess. Our expectations are on the floor though.
Oh yeah, I'm very pessimistic. I'll try to be open-minded.
You are gonna try to be open-minded?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. The first movie, I think we were laughing in the theater. It just was so absurd.
Yeah, and not really in a good way. Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I guess there's some kind of enjoyment in hating on stuff sometimes. I'd rather that than like be apathetic about it, so. Hate
watching's okay, right?
Sure.
What do you guys think? I like to hate watch.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do today. So let's go hate watch Megan 2.0, and then we're gonna share our thoughts immediately after in the car, after we go watch it. That's good.
Freaky Friday?
Have you heard of that?
That was a slog. I never buy food at the theater, but I needed like something. I needed to like reward myself for sitting through that. Got a big pizza in the middle of that. What do you think about it?
Okay, well, my first thought, I have so many thoughts. Okay, so they obviously added so much more to this movie. I don't even know how to talk
very
about
ambitious.
Very overly ambitious of a story for a Megan movie, okay? I feel like it didn't know what it wanted to be at all. And a lot of the scenes felt so random that it was like whiplash a lot of the time. Yeah. Because I was like, is this a Mission Impossible movie or is this a Megan movie?
I wrote down the like genres, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting comedy vibes, horror, sci-fi, kung fu, and then there was a lot of 80s references to like 80s movies for
like
some reason.
The Thing was a poster.
Yeah, they kept bringing up Steven Seagal. When a movie's about like AI like taking over the world, you didn't think there'd be so much kung fu in it, but there was a lot of kung fu in it.
It's a weird pairing.
A lot of kung fu. Like kung fu.
A lot of kung fu.
Like
yeah, it was a million different movies. I feel like it didn't have its own unique like signature. I think it was just taking inspiration from. I wrote down Mission Impossible.
Inspiration's a strong word. I would say they were kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's what I would say. Not really, they were inspired.
Yeah, maybe. So we got Mission Impossible 007, okay, because we got Hot Girls and Fast Cars. We had a good scene of that, which felt so random, okay? And then we have a little bit of Smart House, you know, that Disney movie.
Yeah,
Just a little bit of
someone got knocked out with a kitchen drawer.
With the drawer, and then the ice maker made him do a little woo slip.
Looney Tunes, that's another genre that the movie was in.
Looney Tunes, definitely inspired by Looney Tunes. So there were two movies that it reminded me of in different ways. So I really hate it when movies will take the villain of one movie and make them like heroic in the sequel, because they do that to like
subvert your expectations.
Yeah, subvert your expectations because you think, oh, it's gonna be the same kind of formula as the original, and then they're like, surprise, it's not. Don't Breathe did that, and that ruined Don't Breathe for me entirely, the first and the sequel. And then also It reminded me of Happy Death Day and what they did with the sequel. So with the first one, it was just more simplistic. And then the second movie of Happy Death Day to You, they went full sci-fi, like overachieving conceptually, like what the hell's going on in the plot. So complex that you can't really follow it intentionally. I think they do that on purpose. So you're like, I don't know. So I'm just gonna believe what they say, I guess. And a lot of the times in Megan, I felt like I just could not have that suspension of disbelief, like most of the time.
Yeah, the writing was so bad, the suspension of disbelief was impossible. I felt
impossible.
Like everything that was like pushing the plot forward, it felt like, oh, this is to push the plot forward. Like it was just so
every character
awkward. Yeah. Everything was so random. There's some plot twists. I don't know if we're doing spoilers already, but
let's do a little bit more and then we'll get into spoilers. Unless you want to start now.
No, it's alright.
Okay.
I guess.
We'll just do some spoilers.
The mom,
the aunt,
she decides to rebuild Megan. And it's like, that decision happens so fast. Again, it's just to push the plot forward. And then, you know, it's like, the character is like, I'm not gonna rebuild Megan. And then they have like a 30-second conversation. And it's like, all right, we'll rebuild. Yeah.
Inconsistent, unbelievable, bad writing. Yeah, very obvious how each character was just there to move the dialogue along. Like just very glaring, including her boyfriend, her random boyfriend who had zero chemistry. Like I get why he was in the movie, but like
anytime he's on camera, it's like a plot point, and it's just like, oh, that's why
very obvious.
That's why he's a character. It's just to push the plot forward. Because he was like involved in the government, and then anytime he's on screen, he was like, well, actually, I have a meeting with the prime minister, and it was like, that's why you're here. That's why you're right here. And it just always felt inorganic. It was like that with most characters.
And he's supposed to be like her love interest when there's like nothing ever going on between them. Like there's no romantic, any gesture, nothing.
Even in the end, he was like talking about their future together. And it's like, have I even seen you hug? Have I even seen you guys like hold hands? And they're talking about their future.
Let's get into spoilers then.
The spoilers?
Or just to be free.
Well, the first scene, I don't know. I don't know how political I should get. Is this a political channel, YouTube channel? Can I get political?
Sure.
The first scene I was so offended at. I thought it was just so inappropriate because,
I mean,
with everything going on in the Middle East, I mean, it just seemed insensitive. The first scene in Megan, you know, when I go see Megan, I want to escape the world, but then
we're in Iran.
Yeah, the first scene in Megan, you're in Iran in a nuclear facility, and you're killing Iranians. They're fighting Iranians, and then one of them like, there's just like a bomb vest like off to the side. I don't know if you remember that. Like there's just an idle bomb vest off to the side, and it was just like, gotta get that stereotype in. Yeah. You know? Don't kill me, I'll blow us up. I'll blow both of us up. I'm a suicidal Iranian. And I don't know. I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
It did for me too, yeah. It's like, can we not?
I don't know, yeah. It's just like, it just seemed out of place.
The movie started and I was like,
yeah.
Where are we?
There is some weird racially charged stuff in the movie. It was subtle. It wasn't in your face, but there was one joke where someone was like, "You look like a Portuguese prostitute."
Yeah,
I was just like,
that's so true.
Oh, kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
Most of the jokes in the movie is like poop jokes. It's like so.
Hold on to your vaginas.
Yeah.
Like that kind of slap stick kind of.
It just it was like, it was goofy, stupid.
Yeah.
But every once in a while it was like a racist joke, and I was like, all right. There's one Russian character in the movie. He's an arms dealer. He's a
naturally. They all are. I don't know if you knew that, but
all Russians are. Yeah, at least in the movies.
I will say I kind of liked some aspects of the whiplash that I got in the plot, because it has you suspecting. Like, I liked when they started to introduce the idea that Megan was in control of Amelia the whole time. Like, I thought that would have been a cool twist, and then it immediately was changed, and oh, actually, just kidding, she's not controlling Amelia.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that they were trying different things in the story to surprise us. So some of it worked, most of it did not. I think that part was kind of interesting and entertaining, like, a reveal.
That was a cool idea, but that lasted for like 2 minutes.
That's what I mean. It's like they immediately diverge and do something else with the story. So it's like it only lasted for like a second.
Yeah, there's some cool ideas in the movie, I'm not gonna lie. But they never really follow through with it.
That's the thing, is that if they simplified and like dumbed it down, I know that sounds stupid because the first movie is so dumbed down. There's like hardly any violence or anything, and this one took everything to a 10. If they dumbed it down a little bit more and like kept it easier to follow with the technology and just simplified it a little bit, I think some of it could have been really cool and it could have been more effective.
I agree, honestly.
Better writing, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it honestly needed to be dumbed down and it needed to be more straightforward. The movie didn't know what it wanted to be. Like we said, there was so many random like genre elements.
And references to other things.
Yeah, they kept referencing Steven Seagal. Did you get that in the end when she had, when the daughter was hanging off the edge and then the aunt was like, "You're hard to kill. I mean, you can't do an executive action. I mean, no one's above the law." Those were all Steven Seagal movies.
I did not know that.
Yeah. They kept
I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah, they kept making 80s references.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know. There's just a lot of random stuff.
Yeah, it all feels random.
And then they went to the AI convention. I felt like they were kind of referencing Tron. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna have like all these like movie references, I guess, but it just added to like the confusion of, I felt like they were just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
I think they should have dumbed it down because it was like, they were making like vagina jokes and then they were violent, but then they were also having a lot of heartfelt scenes that, just did not work ever. I
hated all the heartfelt, like touchy-feely stuff that they attempted to do in this.
The mother-daughter interpersonal drama was just not working ever.
Yeah, well, because it always felt random. And you guys know I'm sensitive, okay, but it didn't work for me in this. I feel like it felt random, like intermixed with all these other random scenes. It felt pointless, like there wasn't a point to the heartfelt scenes. It was the same conversation kind of over and over.
Yeah.
You love each other now, you're there for each other, you'll always be there. Like, you know, it's just kind of like obvious.
So much I want to say. This could be a 2-parter review, I think. But yeah, and I was thinking, because like the movie was kind of stupid, but I don't like this movie. But I like some stupid movies. Like, what was I going to say? Brain Dead?
Dead Alive, whatever it's called.
Oh, Dead Alive, that's a classic. Okay, well, Dead Alive. To me,
that's a stupid movie that's really good.
Like Piranha 3D or something.
Okay,
like that's a fun movie. Yeah,
they have entertainment value to them, and I bet some people would argue that the Megan movies have entertainment value, but I'm not the audience for that.
Yeah, I just think the movie needs to figure out what it wants to be. Yeah, because
it needs its own signature. It needs its own original something.
Yeah, it's like kind of trying to be funny, but it's also trying to be heartfelt, but it's like trying to be violent, but it's not that violent.
Can't be too violent because they're always PG-13, which is fine. I love a good PG-13, but then it's like, why have so much violence attempted?
Yes.
I don't know.
They always have like a lot of implied violence. Yeah. And then it's like off screen or something.
Like dark violence.
Yeah, someone got
beheaded.
Impaled. Yeah, people get beheaded and they get impaled, and it's like out of focus or like out of frame, and it's just frustrating as the viewer. Whereas because
that would add entertainment value, arguably. If it was rated R and it was hella gory, I would take that.
You can make like vagina jokes and dick jokes, and then if you're really violent, it's like, I get what kind of movie this is. This is like a trashy popcorn flick. This is cool, I like this. Or if you want to go the other way and have like good writing and don't have to do dick jokes, that's fine. But it was like trying to do everything, I felt like. I wanted to make one more comment. They kept talking about how smart the mother character was. The aunt.
Yeah, her brain can't go to waste and all of that.
What the FBI was like, we need you on our side.
Yeah, everyone was trying to recruit her.
Yeah.
Including the AI. Like,
you're so smart.
They all wanted her.
We need you. But I kept writing down like comments she made where I was like, I don't think a smart person would say that. Okay. She's talking to the authorities about the android, one of the androids. She says they were talking about how the android was becoming self-aware. And then this is a computer scientist talking about AI, okay? She realized she doesn't have to follow your rules anymore, so the robot won't listen to you. So that's...
I remember that.
Yeah. I don't think...
She realized she doesn't have to follow orders.
I don't think that's how a computer scientist would talk.
I don't think she'd word it that way.
And then they kept personifying the robots like over and over and over again, which I thought was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Is this movie about robots or not? Because like
mm-hmm.
the robots just acted human the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part where someone looks at a robot and the robot's like disfigured and the robot's like, don't look at me, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. And it's like, why would a robot care?
Which I get the point, is like they're so advanced, they act like humans. But when it's to a point where they don't even act at all like a robot at all, it's just kind of like disorienting.
Yeah, that's another thing that was so weird, because in the end when they're leaving and the whole building is gonna like self-destruct, you know, the main AI, whatever, the aunt is like, I can't leave her there, and she means Megan, the body of the robot. And it's like, isn't she in your implant now? Like, can't you find her AI, like her, you know what I mean? Like her AI programming somewhere is the only copy now in that robot body? Because I thought that was replaceable. That was the whole thing, is like she needed to build Megan a new body. But the AI, the programming was always there. So it's like, why is she, anyway.
The ending was so hard to follow.
Yeah.
I couldn't even.
And then when Megan was like getting beat up and stuff, she was like acting like a human. And I guess she was trying to like manipulate. Anyway, she like crawled into the corner and it's like, this is still a robot.
Yeah.
The robots aren't acting like robots.
The robot was like scared in the end.
Yeah.
So in the end, it was like, there's this secret organization trying to use AI to kill people so that the world will turn against AI, because the secret organization has a super advanced AI from the 80s that can take over the world.
But they won't let it.
But they don't want it to happen. They wanted to study it so that they could prevent it from taking over the world.
And prove that it's bad. AI is bad for the world.
Yeah. And that's why they needed the aunt, so that she can, why do they need the aunt? I guess because she just was smart. They just
She's smart, and she's already done all the PR stuff, so maybe they thought she could be the spokesperson for their intentions and things.
But it was surprisingly a convoluted third act, which again is like, I don't think that's why people are watching Megan. I don't think they want to like have all this subterfuge.
I want to think too hard.
No.
I mean, I'm not above thinking hard for a movie. That's fine, but not for a Megan movie.
Not Megan.
It kind of did make me feel stupid, though, I'm not gonna lie, because I couldn't follow a lot of the technology stuff. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
The technology stuff was nonsensical. It was nonsense. In the end, they were shooting lasers at Megan. It was crazy. I was like, am I watching Star Trek or something? They were like literally shooting lasers at these people. Literal lasers.
Again, what does it want to be? It's described as a sci-fi horror, okay? But I'm not getting too much horror.
Yeah.
And that's always my biggest complaint with these kind of movies, like Happy Death Day and, you know, the lighthearted dark comedies, if you will.
Yeah, it was like that in the first Megan too, I feel like, where
definitely
it was like horror for one scene, and then that's the scene they put in the trailers.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I'll go see this horror movie, and then a lot of it's just kind of like action with like a horror soundtrack put over it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I kept rolling my eyes in the end when the ants had the exosuit on.
Yeah.
It's an exosuit, but it's a rubber suit. It's got rubber shoulder pads and rubber knee pads. Looks like I can make that exosuit, but yeah, it was like an action scene. She just was like doing gymnastics and beating everyone up, and I'm like, this isn't a horror. This isn't, I thought this isn't even sci-fi, because the exosuit looks so stupid. So if it was a cool exosuit, I'd be like,
if it looked cool. If anything, the Tron outfits looked cooler. Put her in one of those.
Yeah.
Like, make that the exosuit.
Right.
I don't know. That's a little goofy, but still, it at least adds something camp. I mean, the whole point of the movies are to be a little bit camp. So then why does that exosuit look so stupid? I don't know.
Oh, the obvious stunt doubles was so annoying too.
Yeah.
Whenever Megan was doing anything physical, she'd have hair all over her face.
That the ant doing the exoskeleton, they fixed they knew how to hide the stunt double, because they made her unconscious while she was fighting all these people, because Megan was in her little implant controlling the exosuit.
High concept.
So they had her unconscious like this, so her hair was like this the whole time, and she's like fighting everybody. And that's just silly, goofy. I don't
obviously, it's a stunt double, and like
they just didn't even try to hide that.
Yeah, And maybe that sounds nitpicky, but when it's just like the whole movie is just a little off the entire time.
I could be nitpicky about every little detail.
Yeah, it's just the little things start to get annoying after 2 hours.
When when you don't see the effort put into the story at all, or you know, because I can respect they have to like do what they need to do to make a movie, but it just seemed like they didn't try that hard.
Yeah, I felt like everything was half-assed. Like I said, the exosuit looked lame, the writing was dumb.
Sci-fi was a little bit convoluted. They needed to clean that up. It felt very messy, like all the explanations of the sci-fi aspects.
Yeah.
And like the main evil AI, like how
it was pretty fantastical, and it was like the first Megan was pretty grounded. So after like dealing with all that as the viewer, and then you see someone that's obviously a stunt double, it just makes me like, all right, like one more stupid thing to have to look at.
It's hard not to get nitpicky when it's lacking everything else.
If you want to watch Megan 2, don't. Instead, go see Upgrade. That's my recommendation. Upgrade. That's a better,
like a sci-fi horror.
Yeah. Don't you think?
100%.
Just go watch Upgrade. That's a good movie, and it's actually a horror.
Yeah, it has horror elements. What would you rate it?
I would give it 2 out of 5, but because I was offended during some parts, culturally and politically, I would say 1 out of 5.
1, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our review, in quotes, because we didn't really review it, but that's just our genuine thoughts. I would love to hear what you guys thought about Megan 2.0. I know there's a group, you know, an audience for these movies, and I know that I'm not in it, you're not in it, and that's fine. We can recognize when we're not the audience for things. So yeah, let us know if you enjoyed it and what you enjoyed about it. Leave a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon.